Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of What's Blooming. In today's episode, we're covering a very exciting topic, TikTok for businesses. We're extremely lucky to have Jenna Labiak, founder of the Silk Labs, a small Toronto business. In just over 2 years, the Silk Labs TikTok got over 100,000 followers and 3.4 million likes. If you want to learn more on how she got there, keep watching.
Hi, Jenna. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you very much. And thank you so much for coming on today and sparing some time to talk a little bit about your experience with TikTok. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so excited to get started.
Great. So let's do that. So maybe we can start off by you telling me a little bit more about the Silk Labs, how you started, where the idea came from, talk a little bit about the overall business.
Of course. So I started my brand about 2 years ago, and I was in my last year of university, and it started almost as a passion project. I noticed that myself as a consumer was looking for a specific silk scrunchie, and I couldn't find it on the market. The prices were a bit expensive for me, and the colors were a bit mature for me, and the patterns were not my style. And I was just looking for something made locally and also a little bit more young looking and higher quality. So right away after a few Google searches, I noticed there for me personally was a gap in the market. And from there, I started playing around with my sewing machine. I played with trendy colors like browns and greens and patterns that are a little bit more on trend and less mature. And from there, when I perfected my product, I started creating social media accounts. And at the time, I was personally on TikTok, but I noticed a lot of brands weren't on TikTok. So then I decided, why not try it and see where it goes from there. And then it was after my first video actually did really well. And then my brand took off from there, and I decided to try doing it full time. And I've been doing it since then.
Yeah, it's a great story, very creative and very inventive in a challenging time to see you kind of be inspired and come up with that idea. Could you talk a little bit about how social media and TikTok play a role in building awareness for your brand and your product as well as driving sales?
Of course. So when I started with just Instagram and Facebook, pretty traditional. And these days, it is a little bit more difficult to grow on those platforms. So I noticed we did experience a huge growth when I started working with influencers. And that also converted at a lot more for us than just trying to do it organically. So influencers was a big thing that helped us grow our Instagram and Facebook. But TikTok right off the bat was pretty organic, and it has so much power, as you know. So from that, we just kept trying to rinse and repeat content and kept trying to make similar videos just to get that same kind of traffic that we experienced the first video.
Yeah, no, I've watched a lot of your videos, and they're very engaging. So I can
Thank
see
you.
how I can see how your community is really gravitated towards you. Can you talk a little bit about like the importance of building that organic community on TikTok?
Yeah, for us, it really built a lot of trust with our consumer. I truly feel like I have a friendship kind of relationship with my followers on TikTok, and we mutually I follow a lot of girls that follow me back, and we like have like real conversations and a real relationship. So it really is a big community for us. And when you build that trust first and they trust the owner and they trust the product, then the sales come through after.
Yeah, when you said big community, you're being conservative. You have over 3.4 million likes on TikTok. What how did you do it? What do you attribute your success to?
A lot of it is consistency. We post almost every day, and we've been doing that for 2 years. And I keep it very consistent where you're going to see me, the owner, no matter how busy I am. If I have to do it before work hours or after work hours or on the weekend, I'm going to make content and show my face as the owner, no matter what happens with my brand. And just if a video does well, we rinse and repeat that content. So if we use a specific sound or specific quotations or a trend, we'll do the whole thing almost completely over again, but slightly different, and let it continue to do well. So that's a big part of why we have so many likes as well.
Great. Now, we've been talking to our advertisers about TikTok, and the creative approach that they're taking with Instagram and Facebook and other social media is different from TikTok. You have to approach it in it's a different audience, it's a different platform, people engage with it differently. Can you talk a little bit about your creative process when you're coming up with ideas for new content and any suggestions you might have?
Yes, I love this question because I think it's such an important piece of TikTok and video content that a lot of people are missing from what I see. So I noticed almost right away on the platform that people don't respond well when you're directly advertising to them and there's like a very clear call to action. That doesn't perform as well. I think the younger generation that's on the platform, they're very aware when they're being advertised to and they don't always like it. So I find the most successful thing for us is giving our audience value while using our products. So an example is, instead of me standing there saying, here's one of our silk scarves, we make them in Toronto, we illustrate them in Toronto, we use high quality silk. Instead of doing that, I'm going to come on my TikTok and show an outfit that includes my scarf that someone's going to pull inspiration from, of, oh, I want to recreate that outfit. And that gives me value as a viewer.
You mentioned audience. Is it tend to be younger, or what does your audience look like on TikTok? What kind of range is it?
So on TikTok, we notice we do have a younger demographic. It's right around early 20s, whereas on Instagram and Facebook, it's 25 to 30. So it is a demographic that is a little bit more aware of advertising and when they're being advertised to. And I notice like 25 to 30 range, they like what they like and they don't mind being advertised to as much. But it's the perfect sweet spot on both platforms, because at 20, you still shop for yourself and you still buy what you want to buy and spend a little extra money when you want to.
Yeah. I was watching one of your videos, and you've been talking about how you've grown your e-commerce business using TikTok and other media. But you also mentioned in one of your videos that you're also seeing sort of like the offline traffic coming from people who see you on TikTok. You had a pop-up most recently where some people came to the pop-up and said, hey, I saw your videos on TikTok and wanted to check out your product. So you're seeing that as well, sort of that offline sales as well?
Yes, definitely. We do a lot of wholesale in the city, and we've had people that work at the retail stores tell us that they saw our brand on TikTok, and I've been out for dinner and people have told me that they've seen my videos on TikTok as well. And pop-ups, definitely people come from TikTok. So it just has such an incredible reach, like more than you realize when you're just seeing the numbers. But like in person, when someone tells you, it just reminds you again of how important the platform is.
Yeah, it's a really great story, and your experience in TikTok, we can all learn from it. And if you had advice for people, what would you suggest if those who wanted to start advertising on TikTok or using TikTok?
Yeah, so I would definitely recommend starting by just becoming a consumer of the app. Like just download the app and scroll like every night for a week. You'll get addicted because it's so consuming, but just view it because it's its own like culture in itself. Like it has so many trends and like memes that you don't see on other platforms. So just absorb it and understand so you're not maybe like spending extra time making videos that are not going to perform. So like really learn, get to know the app. And then I would start with what I mentioned before, which is creating value first before trying to sell your product. That's always like our go-to rule. Like I try to do like for every 5 videos, one of them is selling a product and the rest of them like are value or entertainment. So just like thinking creatively of how you can do that using your products, and then being very aware of like trending sounds, because that's going to make you grow really fast as well. Like sounds and like dancing is a huge part of the app. So that's another thing I would add. And then another thing that might feel kind of random, but adding subtitles changed the game for us.
Mm.
I started that about 6 months ago, and I noticed that a lot of people go on the app when they're working or they're at the gym and they don't use sound. So if there's no subtitles, they'll just completely like scroll past it. So you're going to hit like so many more viewers if you are using subtitles.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
Yeah.
We use the adage, "Designed for sound off, delight for sound on."
Yes.
So I can see how that's benefited you.
Yeah, that's kind of a random tidbit, but that changed the game for us for sure.
No, it's great, and your advice, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and we really appreciate you taking the time today to speak with me, and wish you all the success. And looking forward to watching more of your videos on TikTok as well. So thank you very much, Jenna. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, and have a great day.
I just want to say a really big thank you to Jenna for taking the time to do this interview and share knowledge and share experience with TikTok. We hope you found it valuable. Make sure you follow the Silk Labs on all their social platforms and stay tuned for our next episode. See you next time.